Hello, my secretive, seductive Scorpios. Welcome, welcome. It is Sachi, and I am here to deliver your guided healing, Pokémoncy, and tarot. So, please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And thank you so much for all of your support and like. Scorpio, let's hop into it. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had Fated to Suffer come out with Perchance to Dream in reverse. So Fated to Suffer is telling me that you're having some difficulty releasing the notion that life is continual suffering, basically. We have Perchance to Dream in reverse, which is the Hamlet story. So it feels like you're out of this death obsession energy. It's not like you want to die or anything like that. But you still feel like for some reason you are fated to suffer. And this may be like, as you can see, they're, handing the apple that maybe you did something wrong in the past, or maybe you just have an ideology, very similar to original sin and like, in Christian theology and things like that, you're just born evil or born fallen, you're just born with whatever. And, even if you don't adhere to Christianity, that may have been imprinted in your baby brain a long time ago. You know what I mean? So there is some aspect that you feel that you're just stuck in a cycle of suffering for some reason. We had the Seven of Air come out in reverse. So this is telling me that the way that you're communicating about finances and money is not balanced. You are not balancing your yin, your divine feminine energy, and your yang, divine masculine energy, in order to have the finances that you truly seek. With the circle in reverse, this is the Hanged Man in this deck. So it's telling me you are having difficulty seeing things from a different perspective. You keep sort of trying the same thing and it's not getting you the results that you want. With the Eight of Water, this is telling me this is a cycle that is repeating in terms of your emotionality, and it feels like you're putting in like way too much water ingredients in it and not enough elemental of air. Okay. So again, we have the Seven of Air in reverse, right? So it's like you're not balancing the air element, which is the way you're communicating about it. And instead you're repeating an emotional cycle and not putting in the element of air the way you're communicating. So this can be the way you're thinking about it, the way that you're talking about it. You may be doing some money magic, but again, it's lacking some sort of air element. With the Crone of Air coming out, this is telling me that not only are you ending a chapter, you're actually closing a book. So I feel like this really has come to an end. You're ready to stop talking and thinking about money the way that you have in the past. And it could just be, physical security in general, but I am getting a lot of like financial vibes here. The maiden ushers in new communication, right? The mother nurtures communication and the crone ends communication. So there really is something that is completely being ended here with the Crone of Air and the Wheel of the Year. So this is a great way to end what came out in the cleansing ceremony, because the Wheel of the Year is the Wheel of Fortune, right? The karmic wheel is moving forward and it is on your side as long as you continue to be able to close this, right? As long as you can close the end of this book and say, okay, I'm not writing another chapter in this, I'm actually ending it. And, that will cause you to progress in whatever this situation is. We have Ellie Gem using Psych Up. So I do feel like, it's time to get more in tune with your third eye. Like your psychic energy needs to be increased in a way. And I feel like you're probably getting a lot of third eye upgrades during this time as well. We had Trainer using Field Blower. So Trainer indicates somebody else's energy, right? And Field Blower, that's air. So you're understanding that you can't incorporate somebody else's air, right? Somebody else's communication into how this is going. We have C-Dot using Bide in reverse. So I'm getting that that you should no longer be biding your time about this. But with Vulpix using Confuse Ray, you're confused with where to start, right? The root chakra is the base. You're confused with what is actually causing this to really be ungrounded. Fox Spirit is also a very tricky type energy here, right? So that's what came out in the cleansing ceremony. I hope you all are doing well. Happy birthday season, by the way, Scorpio. As you know, I'm a true siderealist. Well, actually, celestial astrologist, and it is Scorpio season as I am recording this, which is only a 7-day period where the sun is in Scorpio. So, yeah. happy birthday, by the way. So for your birthday, you will be getting 25% off the extended if you feel called to go to the extended with promo code BDAY, B-D-A-Y, all capital letters. So this month, what we are going to do is we're going to see what cycle are you stuck in. And then we're going to see what can we do in order to end this cycle. And then we'll look into how to transmute the energy that is ending into a purposeful rebirth. And then, of course, we'll look into some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. Let's bring some more light in here. All right, what cycle is Scorpio stuck in? Bride in a cage and calling the storm. So there's this feeling of stuck. It's like you're stuck in chaos, basically. There may actually be some sort of marriage thing on the table. To be honest, it feels like, okay, so bride in a cage, what is that, right? Like, look, she's in her wedding dress and she's in a cage. And so it has this aspect of, you know, like, you know, saving herself for the person that she's married, but she's in a cage. You know what I mean? It's like she's owned by someone, but she's not like defiled yet or whatever, right? So it's definitely, it feels like there's a very misogynistic energy around when it comes to this. It feels like you, like you've given yourself to somebody, but it has locked you in a cage instead of set you free. Definitely not the best energy. And calling the storm feels like, you know, you are, you know, this is the chaotic energy. So it's like being in the cage and then calling in the chaos of the repercussions of really being stuck in whatever that cage is. Tell us more about this situation. We have the 10 of water, the 7 of fire, and the 10 of air in reverse. So we have two 10s with 7. So this is telling me it has a lot to do with another person, right? 10s are when you complete a cycle with somebody else. So I'm just feeling a very restrictive type energy when it comes to making a commitment. You know, it's like, okay, if I'm a bride, it's somehow constraining me. The 10 of water, this has come out for a lot of signs so far too. You know, of course we have the eclipse. We're right in the midst of eclipse season, right? We just had that lunar eclipse in Taurus, and we will have a solar eclipse in Ophiuchus. And with the 10 of water here, this is saying like things can go one of three ways. So it feels like there's a split in timelines, that part of you is kind of being dragged in multiple places. With the 7 of fire, this is Uranus. So this has to do with surprises. Like it could come to a shock to you what is happening, especially with calling in the storm. This can also be like some sort of science, technology, humanitarianism sort of issue here with Uranus. And I feel like part of this is something that you can't see coming in some sort of way. Like there's a storm coming. It can go one of three ways, but it's going to be a surprise. That's what Uranus resembles, is like, whoa, you know, it's surprise events or like serendipity, you know, like surprise innovation or like aha moments kind of thing. And I feel like because we saw that psych up, you know, you are getting these psychic downloads, but there's still a split in a timeline in some way. With the 10 of air coming out in reverse, this is literally tarot card energy coming out in reverse. So this is telling me that what's to come isn't being shown in the tarot right now. And it feels like what this storm is. Tell me what the light energy is. Explode using cacophony. Yeah, that's very much calling in the storm, right? Explode is like a Pokemon that explodes. Cacophony is like having a bunch of disharmonious sounds at the same time, right? Like bing, bam, boom, boom, boom. So there's definitely something coming, and it's explosive. It says, its roar in battle shakes the ground like a tremor, or like an earthquake has struck. Yeah, it's funny. Cancer had a very similar energy. So we see that basically an earthquake is about to strike with this storm. And what happens, right? The earth splits, right? And that's kind of what I'm getting from the Ten of Water. There's a timeline split, and it's basically from whatever this explosion sort of is, it's splitting the timeline into 3 directions. Let's see, what's the shadow here? Okay, that wanted to come and hit my heart chakra. We have Tentacle using Sludge Shock. So I feel like, you know, you're trying to play it cool in regards to the way that your water is, right, that your emotions are, but there is sludge shock that went to your heart chakra, right? So there's like sludge that is in your heart in some way, and your heart may be in shock because of what this is or what has happened or something like that. It says they can be found lying dehydrated on beaches, but they are often still alive. When soaked in water, they will revive. So I'm going to just take a sip of water. So this is talking about, so number 1, make sure you're drinking water. If you're dehydrated, then yeah, that's not good. You know what I mean? And some, you know, not so great surprise events come from dehydration. But I feel like, you know, this is not getting the proper water that you need. I feel like, you know, there was someone who tried to play it cool and put, you know, sludge in your heart chakra. And it feels like, how do I want to put this? It feels like there is some sort of relationship that you have with someone which made you basically be a bride in a cage. It's like you fully committed to them, but you just put yourself in a cage and they actually didn't follow through with the wedding or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're committed to them, but they're not committed to you is what it feels like. And, you know, basically the part of you, it has been dehydrated, but still alive. It's like that sort of hope or whatever emotional attachment that you have. It's very dehydrated, but it's still there. So when it's soaked in water, it will revive. So I feel like this also plays into your issues with the finances. Because we see a lot of communication that's not the greatest, right? Because, you know, the emotional cycle that's repeating, it feels like that cycle is about to be revived. And that's sort of what calls in the storm, is the anger of realizing like, okay, I'm still a bride in a cage and that makes me angry. And, you know, I'm getting explosive about it and things like that. So definitely some very interesting energy here, Scorpio. Like I said, in the extended, we'll see what we can do to break this cycle and then how to transmute that energy into the rebirth. And then advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. Let's see what Moon would like to bring us into the extended, please. A personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So it's funny, I said there was a very similar Cancerian or like energy in Cancer's extended actually. But this personal issue is going to reach resolution with the full moon in Cancer. This is a very mothering, you know, very divine feminine, right? Cancer represents the divine mother, which is the yin polarity of existence. And it looks like this is going to reach resolution. It might be the full moon in Cancer, which happens in Capricorn season, which is not too far off. Right, I'm recording this in Scorpio season. We have Ophiuchus season, Sagittarius season, and then Capricorn season. But it does look like they are going to, this is going to reach resolution. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Meditate and contemplate. Take time to breathe out and don't let pride get in your way. So this is going to reach a resolution. You are being asked to meditate and contemplate on this. You know, even for those of you who want to head to the extended, it feels like that would be a really good time to meditate and contemplate, because it feels like right now, you know, it's split 3 ways. So, you know, focus on basically your highest vibrational timeline. You know, take some time for a breather. I feel like it's going to get pretty intense in the extended, and don't let pride get in your way, right? Don't let ego get in the way of, you know, of this situation reaching a conclusion, because, you know, we saw with the 8 of Water and the cleansing ceremony that there is an emotional cycle that's being repeated, and the element of air, you know, isn't being utilized the right way, because the element of air is actually dehydrating the situation, which is not the best way to deal with that water, right? Is to dehydrate it. You want to have the balance of water and air. So yeah, take some time to breathe out. And if you'd like to follow me into the extended, the link is in the description box below. But if we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I'm sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.